Okay, we should be live. I will just wait a second to set up my smartphone and then we will start. Hi everyone that is going to watch it on replay. Welcome for this replay of the live session with the 9th Executive Board that are with me. I will try to show the faces. I'm just missing the Discord in the front page. And then I will make a proper introduction of our guests tonight on the channel. Okay, you should see them on the right, and I can, I guess, make that bigger. Okay, we have everybody. Just checking if the live session is starting on the channel. And then we will start. Do you see it on the channel, guys who are with me on the call? Or not yet?
Nope.
Not yet. Just checking if
I can see it at least.
You see it? Okay. Then it should be soon on my smartphone. Okay, I see it. Excellent. Then I have the chat and everything. The first people that are on the chat, please let us know if anything is wrong with the sound. If I don't get any reaction, I will assume that everything is fine, but seems to be working as I can read. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our ExB members. So we have the complete ExB with us of the 9th Age. Welcome guys. Thanks a lot for accepting the invitation on the channel.
Thank you for having us.
Very welcome.
Excellent. We will start with a small presentation because I think that maybe a good part of the community don't know you very well yet, and that's also the idea of tonight. So I will start with a small presentation. We have with us Forsetis Muse, who lives in Sweden. You oversee HR and
Indeed.
And also all organizational aspect of the 9th Age. Then second member of tonight, we have Palmu with us, who lives in Finland, who is heavily involved with the game design.
Good evening.
Which is not an easy task, we could say. Then next member of the ExB, we have Scottish Knight, who live obviously in Scotland. He's head of background and developed the skirmish campaign. Helped. And then last but not least, we have Calisson from France, who is pushing various aspects of the hobby and developed the internal coherence of the 9th Age, with a common vision, and also works on the 9th Age RPG. They are going to talk a lot more about that. I'm also, like most of the viewer, I guess, I don't know all the detail about the project and the structure, so I'm very intrigued about what you guys are going to tell us on the live. Maybe before we start, let me show you the agenda. So we have a first part, which will be a presentation of you for the structure of the 9th Age project. Then we'll have an announcement of future plan, and last but not least, a Q&A session. Don't hesitate, people on the chat, to ask a question. That's really the goal of tonight, is to give you the occasion to discuss live with ExB member, and that's why we did it in a live session. If it wasn't the idea, we would have done just a video. So yeah, take this chance, ask your concern, just ask your question on the chat, and we will take it also during the moment we're talking. Don't hesitate to put your question in the chat. I will try to use them and ask them to the ExB. Yeah, guys, I would propose that we start with the presentation of the structure of the 9th Age project. So I will just let you go and decide with which part you want to start.
I can see the live feed, so I can see the agenda. So people will have to tell me.
Yeah, I didn't write anything special, so you can choose with what you want to start to present the project, basically.
All right. So project as a whole, or project structure? Because the project as a whole is a volunteer basis project where we all...
Yeah. I think the project is known, the idea of the project and the people behind it, I think that's known for most people. What I meant is more the structure. How are you organized? To maybe help the people a little bit more to understand how many people are involved behind the project, which is quite crazy.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. So at the top, we have the top management, which is us, the executive board, and our advisors, who are the advisory board. And the advisory board are made up by various team leaders or other members that we feel it's good to have insight and influence into the big decisions and the fundamental decisions. Then we have our management, the middle management, our team leaders, who run their various teams. We have a production side that is mostly where Palmu and Scottish Knight resides, where we work on the game and the background and playtesting and layout and all of these things. You guys can talk more about that. And then we have the hobby side, where we have the the rest basically, all the translation teams and the ACS, who are the ones who talked with the community. And I know, Callison, you're very invested in the hobby side of it. So that's our main structure, and yeah, it's a big project on the inside.
Maybe a first question for you. Is it hard to get staff, unpaid staff, to work for the 9th project? As soon as you have vacancies, is it hard to get new people involved?
Depends on which team.
Yeah. Okay.
Some teams are more difficult than others. We have some teams like the games development who actually works on the rule books. That is not a very difficult team to staff most oftenly, because that's where most people want to be.
Yeah.
And then we have teams like some of the translation teams that are very hard to staff and maintain. And we have, so it's different. Different teams have different needs and different difficulties to staff, but you guys are all welcome to reach out if you want to find a place within.
And just a follow-up question. I know that I think it's not possible to say, I play this book, I love it, and I want to work on the army book, so I want to apply only for this particular army book. Did you put some rule to avoid that you have only player of the book and then every book gets overpowered? Is it something on purpose of that, or do you try to make a mix between people that have a lot of expertise for army book? We have known specialists of the army book that you want to have, and you are maybe trying to contact them proactively. I don't know if you do that. Try to contact actively maybe top players from some army book, or you just wait for the people to announce themselves ready, and then you just attribute them a bit randomly around the book because you're more interested about the motivation, and then you believe on the structure of the project than the game design or the pricing team and all that stuff will make the book good enough.
Do you want to take this power move more on the pro side, or do you want me to take it?
I can take it, because I do have the most experience with this.
Okay.
Yes.
So, maybe it's better to start from right at the beginning with that. So when we develop the books, one of the most important parts about creating the team is that not every part of it is just wholly about the book. We believe that in each design team, it is highly important to have at least one heavy specialist. Mm-hmm. A few people that know the book, but aren't maining the book, and at least one member who does not actually play the book, an outside view of it, so to say.
Okay.
Because of this, it basically means that every member of the game design team must be able to work on numerous different books. And so if we have had in the past people who were only able to work on a single book, but they have dropped over the time because they have then obviously not had the interest to work on other books that they have been assigned to. So now, we already, right from the very beginning, when we recruit people, we immediately make it clear that we are going to need you to work on many different books. Mm-hmm. We are going to make you start by working on a supplementary book and see how you develop your skills there, whether you have what it takes.
Okay.
When it comes to army experts, we don't have any specific tools with that, but team leaders are allowed to do what they believe is best. So we do have multiple team leaders who, aside from just working with the team, are in contact with high-level players of an army to see what do you think about this, how is the book doing, we have this design in mind, do you think it fits the book? Things like that.
Okay. Interesting. Thanks a lot for the explanation. That was very
that
interesting.
May have been a bit meandering, my apologies.
No problem, all good. I suggest we continue with the presentation of the structure. I interrupted a little bit to ask some questions that are from my personal interest, but I think are also in the personal interest from a lot of people. And that will be the goal, I think, from tonight also, to make it very spontaneous, what people want to ask, what I want to ask, and make it that way more like a chat than a presentation. We have a question from the chat asking for HR, how many people in total are part of the staff of the 9th Age?
That's a good question. During the last half year, I've been doing a bit of a cleanup with inactive members. So I would say we are about 250 top members as of now.
Yeah,
I think that's the most up-to-date number. Yeah, so it's a fair few members to keep track of.
Okay. Does anyone of you want to continue with the structure? Maybe Callison or Scottish Knight? I don't know who wants to present some other parts of the project, maybe, or just complete what was already said.
Well, I never did explain fully how the game development team is structured, so I could finish with that, actually.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So, on the top we have Eric Fugin, who is the very leader of the entire game development team. He handles the main rules, he advises with the army books and magic. Basically, he's involved with everything. Assisting him is Ginger Smalley, the assistant head who handles all of that as well, especially when Fugin is not available. Mm-hmm. Then we have a smaller team of, I believe it is currently 16. No, not quite, but around 10 senior designers. Yes, around 10 senior designers, which are basically the advisory board to the team lead. When Fugin is thinking about something, he checks with the senior designers. And the senior designers also form the team leads of the different army books. For example, in my role as also a senior designer, I oversee the design of the Undying Dynasties book.
Yeah.
Below that, we have the game design team. I'm not quite sure how many of there are around now. There are probably around 30 members. I didn't check the exact number before coming here. I'll check it a bit later. Which form the rest of the team. Basically, the team leads pick members for the teams depending on what the book needs. And they are circulated around as situation demands.
Okay. We just had a question from the chat, which is very interesting because I had exactly the same question in my mind at the same time. But the people on the chat is my cousin, so I think that's might be one of the reasons. He asked, how many hours on average do you spend on the project per week, for example?
Each of us?
Yeah, each of us, just to get a feeling.
That's going to depend on the week, but let's say that during the big push for 3rd edition that lasted from basically last spring to this January, I would have to say that it was about 8 hours per day, maybe more.
Per day? 8 hours?
Per day, yes.
Oh, crazy. How did you manage with your work?
I was just constantly around.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry?
How did you manage it with the rest of your life? I mean, with work and family and stuff?
Very poorly.
Yeah, wow.
But no, my work in my line of work, I did have, don't have anymore, plenty of time that allowed me to basically, when I was traveling from home to work, I could also do a 9th Age. When I was on lunch break, I could also do 9th Age.
Yeah.
We even had spare time where I could also do 9th Age.
Okay, crazy.
And on my free time, basically, whenever I was home, I'd be doing it.
Yeah.
Or be available to do it.
Okay, now I'm intrigued for the other one, Scottish Night. How many hours per week would you say on average? Maybe like busy season, less busy season. You can also.
I've scaled back my time more recently. I have other obligations these days, but probably 10 or 12 hours a week, and could be double that if it's a very busy time and there's a big project.
Okay, yes, that's already a lot. I mean, that's more than people invest in hobby, also playing and stuff. I just told to people I'm intrigued of the other two answers, but before that, I just talked to somebody today who was playing. I just had the feeling that you guys invest as much time as some of us very active players do spend playing, but just for the admin, organization, and all the work behind the project. And that's so impressive, and we need as players to have much respect and be thankful for that, because without you it wouldn't work. And when I hear the amount of hours you spend, it's just crazy. For Satis's Muse, you want to add your figures?
Well, I've also been scaling back due to a recent move and things like that. So I've been pretty busy with other things. But I would say that maintenance work is half an hour a day, and I try to get at least 2, but it's usually 4 hours per weekend in to get more serious things in. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, yeah, already also quite a lot.
And that's a regular week without there being a lot to do.
So if I understood correctly, basically every day you do something for the project.
Yes.
There are no day off for you.
No.
I mean, if there's something in special, yes, then we have time off. But yes.
Crazy. Kalison?
Yeah, so for me it's easier because I have no more family at home except my wife, and so I still have some social life, and currently I'm searching for a job, so I have plenty of extra time for the ninth age, so it helps to spend a totally unreasonable time to the ninth age. But previously, when I was working, I would spend a lot of time also working abroad and sleeping at hotels, so which would also help me devote totally unreasonable amount of time. So fortunately, I don't do much for the ninth age, so I can spare some like 2 hours in a busy week when I'm not doing much to a full day of work when I have nothing better to do. So yes, a small week, let's say, I spend more than 10 hours for ninth age. A busy week, I can exceed 40 hours.
Whoa.
And again, but taking into account that I'm heavily involved in background and I'm developing the role-playing game, and this is a lot of time for no visible result yet.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I think I didn't expect those numbers. I expect something around like I said, playing time, maybe like 8 hours maximal per week. But very impressive to hear how many time you can invest for the busy period. I mean, that's very impressive, and it's a big commitment. Very hard commitment.
I wish to spare some time so that I can play and paint models. Yeah. I haven't done that for ages.
That was the next question on the chat, to see if you guys are playing. I know the answer for Palmu because I saw him on Warhol today. So I would guess that he's playing. And I would be intrigued to hear for the other three. Palmu, are you playing regularly, maybe first?
Regularly now. Yeah, I was actually supposed to mention that in the previous tangent, but because of the time I spent on working on the project, I actually didn't have much time to play during most of the autumn. I could be present on some tournaments, but that was about it. Now I have been playing at least 2 games per week. Now that I have more time.
Yeah, not bad. Scottish Night, I think I saw you on some tournament. I think you are playing.
Yeah, up until recently, I was playing maybe a tournament every month.
Yeah.
I play some games online. I run a league in the UK, which is based online. So I get a reasonable number of games, but at the moment, my wife and I are expecting a baby in June. So
Congratulations! Amazing.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm not playing for a little while.
Yeah, we all understand that. You will see it will get better in some months, and I could also say years, but I don't want to discourage you.
Yeah.
For Statistics Muse, I know that you are coach of Sweden and also involved with. Yeah, you are. You are. I saw you on various ETC, and I saw that you were involved at least emotionally. So let us know. Do you also play some games?
The last year, just a handful at home with Eric. I haven't had time to paint in forever, but I have attended a few tournaments where I have played before that.
Okay.
But it's been a crazy year, so sadly it's been more time to help the project than to maintain my own hobby.
Yeah, that's big commitment that you make. We understand from the hour that you invest in the project that it's like eating the time that you could use to play and have fun. And I guess the part that you do might be less fun as a game of ninth age rolling dice. Calison, you told me before that you were only playing with your children, right?
Well, yes. First, before I start on me, Fawcett's Muse does some modeling sometime, and when she posts that, it's always full of humor. So I advise people to look for her models in the website. So back to me. I used to play Warhammer with my children, but now they're grown up, they're gone. So I hardly play anymore anything. But still, I remain faithful to my old love, and I'm happy to develop a lot. For the ninth age proper, I'm looking forward to reading the Dread Fleet supplement.
Yeah.
And I intend to play that, to buy a couple of new models for that, paint them, and be beaten by my son whenever he comes back from sea. Because I'm a very bad player. I just play for the fluff, and it doesn't make a very successful games, but always fun.
You have fun. That's the main thing. And I told you, you absolutely need to join the French Interregio. There you will meet all kind of players. We have very casual player, and that's an amazing event where you can meet all of the very big part of the French community. And it always gives me a great feeling to see 300 more 9th age player in this room, because it's all type of 9th age player. If you go to ETC, for example, you have the competitive part. So you have a special class of player, which is a large part of the community, obviously. But French Interregio, for example, you have like 2/3 who are casual player. Some of them, I would say like 1/3, it's maybe the only tournament in the whole year. So they just come for that. A large part of the point are painting as well. So it really shows a complete view, a complete picture for me of a very nice game. And I always love to see that room full of people from various parts of France just having fun playing the game, basically, for various reasons. Some people are just here to drink some beer and meet people and throw some dice, and others are playing for the win. And that's so nice to see all these people in the same room. Yeah, I don't know, guys, if you want to add something on the structure, or if we should move on to maybe some future plan that you can announce. Yeah, Calison?
Yes, so on the structure, you had basically a big overview on how the game is made.
Yeah.
So this is done. Beside the game, you have an understanding that we have also, like every company, we have HR, we have finance. Finance is very small, but still we need. We have administrators who take care of the website and all this kind of stuff. We used to have PR, but it's vacant, but we should have. So the structure that you find in most business, we have that in the ninth age. It's a bit more fun probably than a normal business.
Yeah.
But also, after the first year of existence of the project, we developed also the hobby side. And as you understand, and that's probably the reason of my presence here tonight, it's very important in my eyes that we take care of the people, not only by providing a game,
Yeah.
but also by providing a nice environment where they can express all the aspects of the hobby. So the hobby, definitely that's painting and modeling.
Yeah.
And we have a nice sub forum in the forum where you see some fantastic painting there. So this is really cool to have a look. We also help the people who want to go to tournaments, so not only ETC but everybody else. We help the national communities. We encourage translation, which is done by the people who use that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no hired translator; it's done by the people themselves. We also have a beginner-friendly sub-forum. So we have all of that. Consider this is all around the game proper. This is the hobby. And we want also to develop the background part. And you definitely need to harass a Scottish Knight until he says a lot about the background because it's so rich.
Yeah.
We try to publish it progressively, but it takes a long while. We also encourage homebrew. So homebrew, that's the people who like the game but wish it was more like this or like that, and they develop their own version of the game. In a normal game, you would prohibit that.
Yeah,
You
indeed.
don't want people to play anything else than your game. But here, we want to encourage people to take ownership of the Ninth Age. This is not our project that we give you, but because we're nice. This is not our project. This is your project. So make it yours and appropriate it and adjust it to your needs. So this is what we are trying to develop as well. So you see, there's a lot behind only making a game. We also have that.
Yeah, very impressive. I love that. Even me, I would say I'm very focused, and I think follower of the channel would agree, very focused on the competitive environment. But I also like, for example, the addition in every slim army book of some fluff and some background around the army. I think that's something that we loved. And most of the players that were playing Warhammer Battle before the Ninth Age loved that background and fluff part. So I think that will be a welcome addition to expand this background and help the game to get more immersive. Maybe a question for you, Scottish Knight. I think something that many players are probably missing for the immersive game, maybe less the competitive part, where the idea of the special characters. Is it something that you would plan to bring back in a way, in your own Ninth Age way? Or is it something that you say, it brings two more in balance and it's hard to balance and let's keep it away from the books?
So we did a polling project a while back, and we asked the community to give their views on what kinds of characters they would like to see, what kind of areas of the background of the Ninth Age they'd like to explore, and basically asking people what kinds of things would they be interested in from special characters. So I'm not sure what can be said at the moment about what's being done with that, but I can tell you that we have quite recently worked on a lot of pitches for new characters, new figures that one way or another will find themselves in the world of the Ninth Age, and maybe someday soon they'll be reflected on a gaming table near you.
Excellent, looking forward. It's very mysterious the way you announced that, but I saw some thumbs up from your colleagues, so I guess they are pushing for it, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I can say yet.
I know. It's hard to make promises because then you have to expectation management. It's called, right?
And of course, keep in mind the anniversary is coming. The 10-year anniversary is here soon.
10 years already. Wow.
It's
Amazing.
been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been it's been I think an impressive success. I wouldn't know with what to compare. I don't know any kind of game that would live on such a base of voluntary people investing so much time, starting with you guys, just for the love of the game and bringing the game for such a large community. I think it's very impressive, totally apart from any financial business. I think that might be unique. I don't know anything that I could relate with. I don't know if you have any comparison in other games. Did you heard anything similar in other games, maybe?
Blood Bowl was a fun game maintained alive by a fan for a very long time before it was brought back by Games Workshop. So we could compare to Blood Bowl,
Yeah.
I believe.
Do you
There have
think?
been small projects, but nothing this big.
Yeah. Do you think that
Yeah.
for what would happen if tomorrow Games Workshop comes to you, dear EXB, we want to buy your game? What would be your position towards that?
I think that's probably quite an easy one. It's not our game to sell.
Yeah.
It's a game that belongs to the community. We can personally choose not to do it, but we certainly can't prevent any of our community from picking up that torch and continuing to make it. So
Yeah.
it's not ours to sell, it's not ours to give away or profit from. We're here because we love the project and we enjoy it, and hopefully
Model of yours support perfectly the game. If Games Workshop would do that, I mean, I would love that, because they're making great models and plenty of players use their models. So if they would support us, sure, do that, but for free, no contract, just voluntarily, and when they want to cease, they're gone, no problem. But this is the spirit. If you want to compare the Ninth Age to something, I like to compare to Wikipedia, made by volunteers only, or Linux, the software made by volunteers, and open source. So this is more the spirit that we try to do, but specifically on fantasy board games and similar games.
Okay, very interesting. I love that. I just checking the chat. Did you? It's related to that. Did you encounter at any point a copyright?
that was a decision that some people didn't like, but we viewed it as essential to say that the project could continue indefinitely and not be living on borrowed time.
Okay. Is it financially? We see from time to time donation, advertisement. Is it a struggle financially to maintain the project? Is it something stressful for you?
I mean, I can comment because I deal with finances for the executive board. It's not necessarily a struggle. We have a generous community. When we need funds to maintain the website, as we had that issue recently, people were very generous and contributed. We have a Patreon, which isn't very big, but it helps to bring in some continuous donations, and so we get enough that we are in a good position to maintain the website for several years.
Okay.
And yeah, we're not going to run into any problems anytime soon. There's always a question of what would we do if we had more resources, and if that becomes a question, maybe we start to ask people what they would like to see. Spending money on advertising, those kind of things, is always very difficult to know you're going to get value for the people who donated. So yeah, we're stable, we're in a reasonable place. Things can we can always do with donations, and if people want to sign up to Patreon, that would be great. but we're not losing sleep over money.
Okay, good to hear, because yeah, I think some of us might have had the concern to read those messages and thinking, oh, that might be a big issue. But it's good that you got this support. I think the community is very. I see a couple of messages on the chat as well that people are thankful for the job you're doing. I'm just not only referring to you guys in the ExB, but also to other staff members involved, because I know that there are other people who are investing a lot of time in the project. And I think if you would if you would know the total amount of spent time on the project just to make it work every week, we would not believe it.
No.
Yes, shout out to the head of our layout, Lawrence, who is a hero.
Indeed.
Who has probably taken the crown of the person with the most hours spent on a week on 9th Age.
Indeed.
And we could not pay him because it would be illegal to pay him for so many hours per week.
I felt bad because I criticized him slightly on one of my battle reports. Basically, the one version of the secondary objective cards that email